WWE Crown Jewel 2023 takes place on November the 4th. Gonna give you my match card predictions for you on this video. There is one match that has been announced at the time of recording. I've got 5, potentially 6 more matches I'll be discussing with you today. Fantasy booking will be included on how I would book these rivalries, and of course, as fantasy booking is involved, I'll be giving you what I think will be the results of those matches as well. But let me know what matches you want to see at Crown Jewel in the comments below right now. Make sure to like this video as well, share it with a friend, and subscribe if you're new here to SCW. So the match we know already at the time of recording is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Freakin Rollins will be defending against Drew McIntyre. The match made on Raw when Drew simply asked for the match at Crown Jewel. No attacking from behind, no sneak attacks, no mind manipulation. It's simply Drew wants a shot and he wants Seth at 100% or as close to 100% as possible. Therefore, that's why we're waiting nearly 4 weeks for this match. Seth Freakin Rollins accepted the challenge, and as Drew was leaving ringside, Damian Priest did attack Seth Rollins from behind, did attempt to cash in Money in the Bank with Dominik running to ring, but of course Drew stopped Dom with the briefcase, attacked Dominik Mysterio, and threw the briefcase as far up the entranceway as possible. Now, Drew McIntyre has been an interesting character as of late. When you look at Drew, of course, he's actually helped Seth Rollins here, but he's not helped other people recently. He's not helped The New Day. He's not helped Jey Uso. Jey Uso being, well, one reason he was a part of the Bloodline, and that's where Drew was really upset, because when he was trying to win the world title from Roman Reigns, of course, he had problems with the Bloodline, stopped him winning the championship, and no one helped Drew McIntyre at that point. So Drew now is not helping other people unless it is to benefit him. And of course, when it comes to Seth Rollins, that actually had something to do with his business as well as Seth's business, so that's why he stopped it. He didn't have anything to do with the will Jey Uso join Judgment Day. He had nothing to do with the New Day's problems that it had with the Viking Raiders, so he's not going to put himself in that situation anymore. It actually makes a lot of logical sense as a babyface, but at the same time, the actions seem a bit heelish as well. So we've kind of got a tweener role for Drew McIntyre right now, and Seth doesn't quite know how to take this. He actually questioned Drew McIntyre backstage. What are you doing? Well, Drew has kind of said it outright. Seth, you're my business now. I've got the championship match. I am going to make sure that you get there. And plus, I don't want Judgment Day having the championship, because if they do, it's going to be the same business as the Bloodline holding it. All makes perfect sense. Although, if we watched Raw in good detail, we saw when Ricochet was talking to Adam Pearce about a match against Shinsuke Nakamura, deep in the background, Drew McIntyre was talking with Rhea Ripley. I wonder what that discussion meant. Potentially, is Drew McIntyre joining Judgment Day? I don't think so. Damian Priest as well has the briefcase. They're going to want that to go to him. Perhaps this discussion is, well, this is the way that you are. What if you don't beat Seth Rollins? Will you still stand in the way of Damian Priest? And I think that's the big question mark going into Crown Jewel, because if I had to give a bit of fancy booking here, twists and turns, it will be what's Drew McIntyre's allegiances. Is he good? Is he bad? Is he helping Seth? Will he join Judgment Day? All that can play out over the next few weeks, and honestly, Drew can be that innocent party saying, look, no, I'm doing my own thing, but his other actions maybe are leading to fans, other superstars, maybe turning on him to the point he thinks, well, screw it, I'm going to do my own thing, and do you know what, if other people attack these people, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to be the good guy anymore. I'm not going to be the person that helps everybody, and I'm not even going to do it for the crowd anymore. I think that if the crowd turns on Drew in this build, which I think is what WWE's intentions are, I think then Drew will give that action when it comes to Crown Jewel, which for me, as a result, I think Seth retains, and I think we get the same mirrored image of what we got when this match was first built, and that is Judgment Day trying to cash in. Drew stopped it on that night on Raw when this match was first announced, but will he do it if he loses at Crown Jewel? He goes to the back of the line. He doesn't get to have the same business of the World Championship with Seth Rollins anymore. He won't protect Seth at that moment. If anything, he may claymore Seth after the match, leaving him vulnerable so that Judgment Day and Damian Priest can cash in, because that could be the monster after all. Because if Drew can't get his way, well, maybe it's not his problem anymore. And I have a feeling that Damian Priest could be leaving Crown Jewel as your World Heavyweight Champion. With the other reasoning being, we've never had a Money in the Bank cash-in in Saudi Arabia before. I think for their fan base, they would go wild. It'd be a really big pop because it's something new and different for them. And so I think it could be a big moment that WWE could choose to go with at Crown Jewel, with Damian Priest cashing in Money in the Bank and becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. Speaking of the Judgment Day and Damian Priest, I think we've got an 8-man tag team match happening here. We're going to have Damian Priest, Finn Balor and Dominik Mysterio of Judgment Day, along with JD McDonough, going against Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, because, well, the babyfaces now seemingly all on side. Kevin Owens has finally seems to give a hug now to Jey Uso, so he looks to put all the problems from the past behind him. It looks like this War Games match is on for Survivor Series, and a great way to build that going in here is to simply have an 8-man tag team match. We could have something with the tag team titles. Of course, Cody and Jey won those at Fastlane from the Judgment Day. A rematch is set for Raw next week. Judgment Day recently, when losing championships, have won them back very quickly, so the tag titles could be involved here. However, I think an 8-man tag team match makes the most sense here, and that could set things up for War Games, especially if a 5th member can help out Judgment Day. That way we can build up then someone that's needed for the babyface side to really go 5-on-5 when it comes to War Games. And let's not forget, we have had a Judgment Day and Bloodline alliance on SmackDown this past week. I wonder if WWE will continue that storytelling going forward, because, well, if Jimmy and Solo were involved in this, well, that could build something up then for War Games. But potentially, you could even see the babyfaces win, JD McDonough being kicked out of the group, and that way you've naturally got a 5-on-5. Just have Solo and Jimmy join Damian, Finn, and Dominik Mysterio. Let's keep things at Judgment Day. Let's talk Rhea Ripley. I think she'll be on this show defending the Women's World Championship in a fatal 4-way against Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Now, of course, Raquel Rodriguez was the rival going in and through Payback, and of course, well, when they had their rematch on Raw, Nia Jax made her return to WWE, attacking both ladies, and of course, well, she's been attacking everybody ever since, including Shayna Baszler, and this has kind of led to all 4 ladies kind of getting involved in each other's business, and we've seen it a couple of times now, pull aparts with officials when Rhea Ripley returned, and even this past week on Raw we had Nia Jax versus Raquel Rodriguez. Of course, Rhea interrupted their match, attacking both ladies. Shayna came down looking to get revenge on Nia Jax, and that led then to, well, Shayna Baszler having problems with Rhea Ripley. We've got Shayna versus Rhea on Raw next week, which is a match I'm very much looking forward to. There's some great work together in NXT, and again, I think there'll be some interference. Nia Jax most likely, and we could see Raquel then get involved afterwards. It just feels like it's naturally going to a fatal 4-way, which for me is also the right decision here booking wise, because, well, Rhea Ripley, you can't see her losing the championship in a one-on-one match at this point. Having a fatal 4-way makes it a bit more exciting. Will she lose the championship? She doesn't have to be involved in the decision, and of course, well, as I would predict Rhea to retain, I think as well you can build the next challenger, which I think would be Nia Jax, by Nia Jax not being involved in the pinfall decision. Therefore, an attack can go on after the match, and therefore you still have a program lingering to go on for the next PLE. For the WWE Women's Championship, I've gone with Io Sky to defend against Charlotte Flair. It just feels like a natural progression here, Charlotte Flair to have the singles match. We've had Io versus Asuka already. We had the triple threat match at Fastlane. Yes, Io Sky did pin Charlotte Flair, but when Bayley was distracting the referee before Io could land that moonsault on Charlotte, Charlotte did have Asuka tapping out to the figure 8. Charlotte Flair had this match won had Bayley not distracted the referee. Yes, then Io Sky did break up that submission with the moonsault, picking up the pinfall victory, but I think there is enough here to, well, also give Io credibility, also to give Charlotte Flair a rematch. So I think a singles match will be the direction going into Crown Jewel, and yes, I do think Io Sky will retain. Io seems to have a path going on right now. She's gone through Asuka, she's gone through Charlotte Flair. I think damage control against these babyfaces will happen in War Games, and I think a returning Bianca Belair will happen on the road to Survivor Series, leading to Io versus Bianca, potentially going into Royal Rumble season. Next, I've got a United States Championship match between Rey Mysterio and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley picked up the victory over Rey going into Fastlane. Of course, it didn't go well at Fastlane for Lashley and the Street Profits. It feels like Lashley probably quite upset with the Profits for, well, losing once again, twice in this early trios relationship that they've got. But one thing Lashley knows is he can't fail if he does things on his own, and of course, if he has the Profits backing him up against the LWO, this would be a chance for the Profits to show their worth. It could be an interesting match. Obviously, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, two legends in the ring, two big high-profile names as well. I think would be quite a fitting match for the Crown Jewel audience. And for me, I think this is a good place to do a title change. I think Bobby Lashley will walk away your brand new United States champion. Roman Reigns at the moment, of course, still a heel. Bobby Lashley still a heel. So it looks like this match will be put in the background in the meantime, especially as we have a bit of chaos with the Bloodline, and this group with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits isn't quite built up either at this moment. I think we need to get them more established as a dominant trio before we can start thinking about Bobby Lashley in the top title picture. So Bobby Lashley as United States champion really does work for me at this moment, and to be honest, I can see Lashley holding on to this title until WrestleMania 40. My prediction is he will eventually lose it to LA Knight. Speaking of LA Knight, could he be involved in the last match I'm going to talk about? Well, potentially, because it's all about Roman Reigns. Roman does return to SmackDown this Friday. He's going to be upset with Jimmy and Solo, perhaps more with Jimmy Uso, who's just proclaimed he's back in the Bloodline. Is that the case? Is that scenario? We'll have to wait and see. I can't see Roman versus Jimmy at this moment, although that is a match I would quite like to see at some point. I think it's going to be about Jimmy proving his worth. I think that's going to be the big story from the Bloodline perspective, which means Roman will have a challenger, which potentially could be LA Knight, but it could also be John Cena. And I think Cena is the more likely one of the two, depending on this, well, the strike that's been going on in Hollywood. That rumors are that is coming to a close. That is looking to finish. When it does wrap up, John Cena will be wrapping up his time in WWE and will be going back off to Hollywood. But in the meantime, he is currently advertised for the Crown Jewel show. So if he's going to be in attendance, I'm guessing he would be in a match. And to have Cena versus Roman on this show, let's be fair, it is the biggest match that WWE could do at this moment. And the alternative for me would be LA Knight, because if you look at the tag team match at Fastlane, it was Cena and LA Knight together beating the Bloodline. LA Knight was the one that got the pinfall victory over Jimmy Uso. Maybe John Cena is going to just, well, pretty much support LA Knight in that pursuit of the championship. My only problem is I feel perhaps it's a bit soon on the LA Knight push to be going for the top title. However, I'm pretty sure that if LA Knight does go for the top title, people will be supporting it and will be behind it and be wanting LA Knight to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. But for me, as I said already, if it does go down that way of LA Knight, look, Roman Reigns, whoever he's facing, is going to retain the championship. That's the one thing for me. You could do LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. It's a match we've recently had on SmackDown. That way Roman feels that LA Knight would be taken care of if he was to face John Cena. However, knowing Roman Reigns, I'd imagine he would want Jimmy and Solo, if they're going to be on side, to go for those tag team titles taken from Jey Uso and particularly away from Cody Rhodes. Expect that rivalry in the near future. But Roman being Roman and the character that Roman has, Roman cares about Roman. Roman cares about defending and retaining his championship. He is not really going to be too concerned about the other guys going out doing other things. He's going to want them watching his back. So for that reason, as a final prediction, I will say Roman versus Cena, but if Cena has to go back to Hollywood, then it'll be Roman versus LA Knight. But whatever happens, LA Knight, John Cena, I think will remain on the same page on the build to Crown Jewel, whether it's supporting, whether it's tag team wrestling. They're undefeated after all. It's going to be an interesting twist and turn and an interesting storyline going forward. Could we rule out the triple threat match? I guess we couldn't, but at the same time, I think a singles match is more likely for Crown Jewel. So there you have it there. That is my match card predictions for WWE Crown Jewel 2023. Let me know what you think of the match card in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the fantasy booking, the potential results. Is WWE going in the right direction if my predictions do come true? And of course, what matches would you book for Crown Jewel? Let me know right now. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, share with a friend, and subscribe as well. 3 small little things that can help a channel massively, very, very quickly. And the comments section as well in a video is very helpful also. Thanks for watching, have yourselves a great day, and well, if you've enjoyed this video, then why not check out some more videos on the channel right now, including these ones that are on the side of your screen right now. All the best, and I'll see you for the next video.